A very good evening. Thank you so much for watching UBC TV Inspiring Uganda. My name is Sharon Kyomugisha with Mugalu Mohammed on sign language. We'll take a look at our top stories of the day.
Brought to you by
How to get points. Just use MTN to make calls, send SMS, load airtime, buy bundles, or pay for MTN subscription services.
Everywhere you go, MTN.
In our top stories of the day, Sheikh Mohammed Burhan can't be traced. Family calls for government intervention. COVID-19 and HIV double jeopardy, a tale of how HIV patients got off treatment in Uganda. USF National Swimming Championship, John Kafumbe steals show on day 1.
Was brought to you by Everywhere you go, MTN.
In our top stories of the day, the Islamic religious schools known as madrasa have been interest to policy makers globally. In this report, our UBC reporter Sharon provides an overview of madrasas, their role in promoting Islam among its children in the Muslim communities.
In September this year, police raided the Marcus Ibn Hajalai School in Namalega Zone, Bombo Town in Ruweru District, where they found 50 children and arrested the director of the school, Sheikh Uthman Yassin in Soboga. Marcus Ibn Hajalai School is one of the madrasa for orphans in Bombo, which security thought was a training cell for bad tendencies. Former Minister and Vice Chairperson, Uganda Muslim Supreme Council Haj Abdul Naduli, says there is a campaign against Islam which is politically motivated.
Is not it from me. Don't simply predict. Whoever Muslim you see, you come across. Whoever Muslim you see, you come across with bears, that tends to be a mutuju, a killer. No. And it could be better to first investigate thoroughly well. So before you arrest, internally I see you as if your saboteurs within the government of Jorim.
Naduli holds the view that the madrasa simply means Islamic religious schools at the primary level.
Hills and the missionaries be united and pass over our madrasa syllabus so that that syllabus may really be spread all over the schools of Islam in Uganda. That will be the remedy of arresting people and really so doubting us as always dangerous people.
Terrorist has no place in Islam. Islam has no anything about terrorism.
Ruweru District Cars Sheikh Ramadan Mrindwa says madrasa teach secular subjects and also offer religious-based curriculum focusing on the Quran and Islamic texts.
The meaning of madrasa, it means a place where students go to learn. Generally, the word madrasa means a school. Be it a place where people they go to learn, be it at the private school or a government school, it is called madrasa. Any form of school, it is called madrasa. So we call upon our government that as Muslims we have a syllabus which is monitored and followed by the Muslims of Uganda. That syllabus is organized by the Uganda Muslim Supreme Council.
Some madrasa are supported by private donations from Muslim believers through a process of alms giving, known in Arabic as zakat. After the twin bombing in Kampala, Security had expressed concern over the spread of radical Islam through schools and mosques, which Muslims deny. Others maintain that reforms should be institutionalized primarily within Islamic madrasas in order to ensure a well-rounded curriculum. Haruna Mteesa, UBC News.
People living positively with HIV and AIDS are struggling to nurse the effects of missing and getting off antiretroviral drugs, ARVs, as a result of COVID-19 lockdowns. The situation was worsened by long procedures to access permission by HIV patients to travel to their respective health facilities for drugs. Aida Nakuti with the report.
People living positively with HIV and AIDS not only face higher risk of severe illness from COVID-19 infection due to compromised immune systems, they experience challenges of accessing medication, particularly during periods of lockdown, although people who wanted to seek medical attention could be allowed to move after getting permission from relevant authorities. It was a different case for HIV and AIDS positive patients. This meant indirect forced disclosure of one's HIV status.
People living with HIV, first of all, their right to privacy was bleached. Because when it comes to lockdown, very many people were forced to disclose, to go and get medical care from their facilities, because if I'm to remember very well, people are supposed to go through the LCs, present a letter that I'm positive. Then when you go on the road and you find police block, you have to explain to them and also show them that I'm sick. So it was really, really frustrating and traumatizing, because there are some people who are even still struggling to accept the fact that they're HIV positive, and they still have the self-stigma. So when you add self-stigma and then the disclosure, forceful disclosure, it was really so traumatizing and very unfortunate that even some people got more sick because some of them refused to go and disclose, and then they took their time not to take medication.
As a result, many people living positively either missed or got off life support treatment for some time.
During lockdown, it was so unfortunate that the week they announced a lockdown, I was supposed to get my medication the following week. And my drugs were done, and I was very scared. Where am I going to get medication from? There was no transport. I take my medication on Entebbe Road. I'm staying in Kisasi. I cannot walk there. So it was really a challenge. Those people called me, luckily enough, at the health center, and they told me, how can you access? Then I told them, you people, I cannot walk there. I cannot find a way. Then good enough. I thank God that those people tried to connect with some people who are nearer to meet, some clinics that are nearer. Then they transferred those drugs to them, and then those people also transferred them to me. But you see all that process. These people, the third party, they didn't know about my status. But now they also do what? They also know. And then when they bring on the village, people are so inquisitive. They want to know what have they bought for her.
Health facilities are not nearer where many people live. A health facility is a distance away from where people live. So it brought a lot of stigma around the community, because some of us do not want to share our status to any other person. We want to live with it as we, and that is how we can manage it. So it brought a lot of issues around stigma. People stopped taking their treatment because they couldn't go to the RDC. Even to go to the RDC, you had to first go to the chairman. The chairman gives you a letter that is all disclosing.
So those clients who travel to the villages dropped off their drugs. They discontinued treatment. So on returning here, when the viral loads were done, we realized that there was their viral loads were high.
In this case, some patients had their viral load go up, thereby further compromising their immune systems.
I missed like for 3 days. Yes, and it really affected me because this body, how it works, and the ARVs, that every time you have to take that medication. When you take that medication, it's that specific time they tell you. That is why they tell people take the medication at the right time. So whenever you take that medication at the right time, that is when the virus has woken up. If you don't take it at the right time, you find that the virus has gotten that space to wake up and produce. But every time you take it at the right time, it doesn't give it any chance to produce or multiply. So definitely my viral load increased because I did not take what? My medication, and also my immunity weakened.
Our visit to AIDS Information Center paints a picture to the challenges posed by COVID-19 pandemic to the HIV patients and service providers.
So therefore, when we realize that we are now increasing in clients who are not suppressing, it is not a good thing as care providers. So therefore, what I can tell you is that they are not down, but actually because of the high viral load, that automatically means that the immunity is getting low.
Although organizations and health facilities worked in collaboration with the Ministry of Health to ensure that HIV patients are served, others were missed out due to stigma and loss of connection.
So we tried to move around that to make sure that people actually access their treatment with ease. Number one, we have a number of peers. These are people living with HIV who are there to support their peers, called by either expert clients or linkage facilitators just as peers. So there were lots of home deliveries. So what had to be done was link up with the person in need. We had a toll-free helpline that people were calling. Others had their personal phones. So they would call and say, I'm here, I get my medication from this side, and therefore how can I be helped? So the peers helped a lot to deliver.
The COVID-19 pandemic has not only affected the treatment and care for HIV patients, but has accounted for the increase in new infections, especially for the young people.
Young people also are having 3 times higher new infections than the rest of the population. So out of the 38,000 new infections, you'll find that young people are about 14,000 new infections, and girls 15 to 24 are 3 times compared to their male counterparts. So they are bearing a higher brand, and really because of the factors, because of the inequalities, the income, the poverty issues.
The most affected group is most definitely the females, because from all statistics I've not seen a year or a month where there have been less new cases of females. Are always higher. If you have 20 cases in the month, I would say maybe 15 are females, the other 5 are males.
Uganda has an estimated 1.4 million people living positively with HIV. I'm Nafka Farida and Adiana Kuti.
Thank you, Nafka Farida and Adiana Kuti. A kidney donor has rushed to the International Crimes Division of the High Court to seek for justice after the family of the kidney's recipient deliberately refused to fulfill the promise in compensation of property in exchange of his organ. Details in this report.
23-year-old Brian Arinaitwe lives a miserable life after donating his left kidney in promise of heaven and earth from the recipient's family. It is alleged that the family of the late Johnny Rigambwa convinced Arinaitwe that he was to get part of their property if he donated his left kidney to their 64-year-old father, who had been battling with hypertension and diabetes for a period of 28 years. According to medical reports and documents, it is evident enough that Brian Arinaitwe donated his left kidney. However, even after a successful operation in India in 2016, Johnny Rugambwa passed away. Unfortunately, the late Rugambwa's widow, Ewan Miria Rugambwa, withdrew all the promises and instead framed Arinaitwe for conniving with her stepchildren to kill her husband. Johnson Kyomugisha, one of the family members, says the family willingly made an agreement to give Arinaitwe part of their property in exchange for his donated kidney to the late Rugambwa.
To donate a kidney to my dad, the promise was done. Now we are in court battling with our stepmother, thinking that we are fighting against her.
For 7 years, the late Rugambwa's children have been seeking for justice on behalf of Arinaitwe, who they claim is being unlawfully denied of his share. The family has been following the matter before the International Crimes Division of the High Court, where their mother Miria Rugambwa is battering charges of human trafficking and forgery. Prosecution at the Colorado-based court states that in 2014, and with the deceit, Miria Rugambwa trafficked Arinaitwe to India and facilitated the removal of his left kidney. That Mrs. Rugambwa further forged birth certificates and registration to the effect that she and her husband are the biological parents of Brian Arinaitwe, whereas not. However, presiding Judge Justice Susan Okalanyi has now directed that prosecution discloses all its intended evidence and witnesses to Mrs. Rugambwa's lawyers.
This is trafficking in person. We came for scheduling. The matter has been fixed for 7th December for scheduling and disclosure. Then thereafter the matter will be fixed for hearing.
Arinaitwe argues that at only 23 years, he was robbed of a livelihood, since with only one kidney, he has nothing much to do, except fight for the 2 plots and part of Rugambwa's family arcade in Mbarara that were promised to him. Ivan Juko, Wycliffe Mudach, UBC News.
Well, we hope he gets justice. Now, Vice President Major retired Jessica Lupo has said that a decent home is an avenue toward ensuring a healthy environment for all the family members, regardless of the setting, whether rural or urban. Speaking as chief guest during the closure of the 4 days Virtual Homes and Construction Expo 2021 Danube Exhibition Center along Nkrumah Road in Kampala, the Vice President said a decent home must take into consideration the safety of the occupants against heavy rains, strong winds and short circuits. Details in this report.
The Vice President, Major retired Jessica Alupo, has said that a decent home is an avenue towards ensuring a healthy environment for all the family members, regardless of the setting, whether rural or urban. Speaking as chief guest during the closure of the 4 days Virtual Homes and Construction Expo 2021, the Danube Exhibition Center along Nkrumah Road in Kampala, the Vice President said that a decent home must take into consideration the safety of the occupants against heavy rains, strong winds and short circuits.
Uganda needs an effective and efficient infrastructure to support our economic growth. Poverty eradication, social development and competition in the global market. As you very well know, no economy or a country can stand without proper infrastructure. And in my view here, we're talking about home infrastructure. The theme for this expo, new technologies and sustainable solutions in the homes and construction sector, is therefore pertinent to underscore the role of infrastructure in the national economy and its multiplier effect on improving social economic development.
The Vice President said the construction sector is a key avenue to collecting revenue and boosting economic growth, adding that the construction rate should match the population rate, which currently stands at 3% per annum, which is one of the highest in the world. She said that the government will continue to provide conducive policy and legal framework that will enable the private sector to play its role in the construction and infrastructure development. The Vice President prayed that the Construction Expo continues to offer to all stakeholders in the industry an opportunity to interact and get valuable information on current developments and trends in construction industry, and thanked all participants who have taken part in the expo.
Uganda in general and our government in particular have made big strides in infrastructure development due to a conducive environment and investor confidence. I strongly hope that the Home Construction Expo continues to offer all stakeholders in this industry opportunities to interact and get invaluable information on the current developments and trends in the construction industry. It is my conviction, therefore, that we are leaving this expo more enriched than when we came in.
The Chief Executive Officer of the Vision Group of Companies, Don Wanyama, said that his company prides itself in conducting journalism that advances society, as well as engage in activities that are critical to society, of which housing construction is among. He said that decent housing is basic human necessity, and said that decent housing is still a big concern in the country. Reporting for UBC TV News, Stephen Kanakulia, Sempa.
State Minister for Local Government, Victoria Businge-Rusoke, has ordered for the suspension of Ntungamo District Engineer and Education Officer and other district officials on the run involved in the shoddy construction works of Kategaya Memorial Institute. Details in this report.
The presidential pledge to construct a Ria Kategaya Memorial Institute in Utojo Sub-County in Ntungamo District was marred with irregularities and shoddy work. The State Minister for Local Government, Victoria Businge-Rusoke, disclosed this during her tour of the facility in Ntungamo District.
Signatories on all payments. All the money is coming to educational institutions pass through the Education Department account, where the DOs is a senior signatory. So you don't tell me that you approve payment of such big sums without confirming what is on ground. There is no project where there is no monitoring fund to the two officers. Yes, the cow left. He was transferred to Kamwenge, but we shall follow him up because the policy empowers us.
During the on-spot assessment, Victoria Rusoke said Ria Kategaya Memorial Institute was meant to be among the best institutes in the country, but its structures are wanting. According to Rusoke, over $1 billion shillings was offered to construct the institute, but the contractor constructed more toilets than the buildings.
So, my dear brothers and sisters, stop defending defaulters. Please stop, Chairperson Jojo. Stop defending defaulters. I look at you in the face. You are being unfair to this country. If you don't know facts, keep quiet. This man, we are going to go and swear an affidavit and they produce our conversation. I told him to stop interfering with my official work. Now whom are you defending? When he's seeking for assistance. Please, 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 get out of interfering and defending culprits. It has brought you a very bad image to me and has noted you down. And please, please, it is the cow who was pushing them. The cow was very bad. If the cow was very bad, what did you do?
The Chief Administrative Officer Ntungamo, Nasam Chibi, says there was no project plan, thus affecting the project.
They pinpoint negligence. Hear that word, negligence. By the ministry engineer, one Aharim Pitsia Habat, as well as the engineer of Ntungamo district. These two must be suspended.
The design, I mean the physical plan, that the layout of the buildings, that this one put it here, this is a road, flowers are going to be there.
So when it's not there, where does the engineer base?
The resident district commissioner Ntungamu Moses Kaboyo thanked President Museveni for intervening in the matter and advocated for more action to bring the culprits to book.
In this regard, I want to assure the community that when I also saw this project, when I came here to inspect, I really bled. And it was unfortunate, and I told the people that you people, what was done here, everybody should be prepared for what or she could have done.
Area Kategaya Memorial Institute is expected to offer courses in carpentry and joinery, construction, sewing, hairdressing, among others. Sudat Kai, UBC News.
It's Freaky Friday from Airtel. Buy or gift. Buy or give.
Get freaky too! Dial star 149 star 10 hash to load a Freaky Friday bundle for you to enjoy the best offers on voice and data.
To buy a bundle for friends and family, dial star 149 star 10 star 5 hash. Freaky Friday with Airtel. Buy or gift a bundle today. Dial star 149 star 10 hash to get started. Airtel, the smartphone network.
It's the festive season and we love it. And that means it's time to celebrate with GoTV.
Come with me.
So get your GoCoder and GoTV value for 25,000 shillings to watch with the whole family. And if you're feeling extra festive, upgrade to our best package yet, GoTV Super.
Something to look forward to.
Download the My GoTV app for more information.
Super.
We all deserve a super festive season. And with GoTV, there's every reason to love it.
Nkuleetedde MTN Kabode essimu ya smart gy'osobola okwefunira olwo n'ogisasula mpola nkugambye yene eri eya kabi ate nga tamanyi endala zonna mu katale ejjirako omuggo gwa yintaneti kati ky'oba okola gwenyiga *655*2 hash okebere oba osobola okwefunira MTN Kabode olumala okebera bw'oti dduka buddusi ku dduuka lya MTN lyonna eri kuli okumpi weefunire MTN Kabode olwo olyoka ogisasule mpola ng'osasula nusu 15,000 zokka buli wiiki okumala emyezi 6 ng'okozesa MTN Momo weefunire Kabode kati dish.
Everywhere you go, MTN.
Introducing the all-new Roofing's TMX 500C rebars with cut and bend services. Roofing's, strength of a nation.
You're still watching UBC News Tonight. In our business stories, government has set regulations of preference and reservation schemes to uplift women and youth recover from the post-COVID-19 effects through Uganda Women Entrepreneurs Limited. This comes at a time where women are celebrating the annual Women in Business Leaders Conference to reflect on the impacts of the pandemic on business and procurement. Shaidat Nasako with the report.
The month of November was dedicated to women in entrepreneurship. However, as the month draws to an end, women have showcased different opportunities to attract financing from funders in the post-COVID-19. In the fight to contain poverty among women and youths, government, through the amendment of the PPDA Act, has allocated 30% of the budget to the marginalized groups to uplift their standards of living.
But 30% of the budget should be allocated to those groups. The categories of groups that involve the women, the youth and the disabled. Up with the regulations on preference and reservation schemes, and highlighting exactly the percentage of contracts that are reserved for the women, the youth and and the disabled.
In a bid to combat poverty, more than 100 women have been trained.
And we have regulations on preference elevation schemes, which also specifically emphasize the percentage of contracts should be allocated to the youth, women, and disadvantaged groups and disabled. Guidelines on reservation schemes promote local content. However, there was no specific provision for the women.
To ease the accessibility of funds for women in small medium enterprises, the Uganda Development Bank has revised the loan requirements.
Our women, to date, about 150 have already placed in their application, and they are willing to work with us to impact about 2.5 million women in this country. So many businesses that now, when it is financed, they are able to pay back, because by the way, women are very good at paying back loans. So when this is done, it's going to really help them beef up their businesses and be able to grow them.
Despite the challenges associated with the COVID-19 pandemic, many female entrepreneurs resorted to digital means of transacting businesses to ease the distribution and supply of their products to rephrase. The Month of Women Entrepreneurs was conducted under the theme Against All Odds for the Women. Shaidat Nasaku, UBC News.
Uganda Swimming Federation's 2021 National Championship is underway at the Green Hill Academy Pool in Kampala District. The three-day championship has attracted participation from 20 clubs with more than 300 swimmers in action. John Mansentamo with the report.
The month of November was dedicated to women in entrepreneurship. However, as the month draws to an end, women have showcased different opportunities to attract financing from funders in the post-COVID-19. In the fight to contain poverty among women and youths, government through the amendment
Swimming Championship at Green Hill Academy in Kampala. The three-day championship has attracted more than 300 swimmers from about 20 clubs. Already, several records have been broken by youngsters like John Kafumbe, whose 800 meters display wasn't for the faint-hearted.
This race, the 800 free, was really, it took time for me to plan. We were working hard with my coach to master what we needed to do to achieve the time we achieved. And it means a lot because now I know I've taken another step further in the career and I've become better, which shows that like every time I work hard, I'll improve.
Uganda Swimming Federation President Moses Mwase is impressed and expects a formidable team at the Kana Zone 3 Championships that Uganda hosts next month.
We're also preparing for the 6th Kana Zone 3 Championships, which will take place here in Kampala from the 9th of December to the 12th. And so when we see that our swimmers are breaking new records and having new personal bests, it gives us a lot of encouragement. It shows that they will do very well when it comes to the regional championship.
Others that have excelled on day one include Abigail Mwagale, Gerard Masiko, Paula Nabukera, and Sadoki Gundu. John Barnes, Sentamo, reporting.
It's Freaky Friday from Airtel. Buy or gift. Buy or give.
Get freaky too! Dial *149*10# to load a Freaky Friday bundle for you to enjoy the best offers on voice and data.
To buy a bundle for friends and family, dial *149*10*5#. Freaky Friday with Airtel. Buy or gift a bundle today. Dial *149*10# to get started. Airtel, the smartphone network.
It's the festive season and we love it. And that means it's time to celebrate with GoTV.
Come with me.
So get your GoCoder and GoTV value for 25,000 shillings to watch with the whole family. And if you're feeling extra festive, upgrade to our best package yet, GoTV Super.
Something to look forward to.
Download the My GoTV app for more information.
Super.
We all deserve a super festive season. And with GoTV, there's every reason to love it.
Guletede MTN Kabode esimu ya smart gyosobola okwefunira olwo n'ogisasula mpola nkugambye yeneeri eya kabi ate nga tamanyi endala zonna mu katale ejjirako omuggo gwa yintaneti kati ky'oba okola gwenyiga sitiimu 65*5*2# okebere oba osobola okwefunira MTN Kabode olumala okebera bw'oti dduka buddusi ku dduuka lya MTN lyonna eri kuli okumpi weefunire MTN Kabode olwo olyoka ogisasule mpola ng'osasula nnusu 15,000 zokka buli wiiki okumala emyezi 6 ng'okozesa MTN Momo weefunire Kabode kati dish.
Everywhere you go, MTN.
That's all we had for you for now. Do join us again at 10 p.m. for more news coming your way. My name is Sharon with Mugalu Mohammed on Sign Language.